Well, we're joined now on the phone line by the national convener of Black First Land First, Mngxitama. A very good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Just take us through BLF's reaction to what the DA has said about the advisor, Professor Malikane.
Firstly, we must remind the viewers that the DA is a party of racism, colonialism, and white monopoly capital, and those who have stolen our wealth and land. Now, the worst thing is that the DA has decided to lie openly about what Professor Malikane has said. The DA has run with statements made by white media which are completely devoid of the truth about what Professor Malikane said. They are only interested in manufacturing fake news to pressurize the Minister of Finance to fire Professor Malikane, because Professor Malikane has provided a very clear, detailed, rational proposal for radical economic transformation. The DA rejects radical economic transformation. DA rejects the return of the land to black people. The DA rejects the fact that black people must participate in the economy. That is why they have decided, with all the sections of the white-owned media, to lie about Professor Malikane, to attack him, and not to engage the serious proposals that he puts on the table. We reject, therefore, the DA. We call on the DA to apologize to Professor Malikane, and the Black First Land First has, in fact, written a formal complaint to the press ombudsman against these newspapers and media which has been lying about what they say Professor Malikane said on that event last week, Saturday. He said none of what they say he said.
Now, Mr. Mngxitama, in addition to writing to the press ombudsman, in the case that the DA does not apologize, would you be taking any legal action against them?
Well, already our movement has laid a case against the leader of the DA, Helen Zille, for racism. We have also laid a formal complaint with the Human Rights Commission. Furthermore, our movement has laid a complaint against Helen Zille's racism with the High Court in the Western Cape, in the Equality Court there. So there are processes that we are following. Last week, we also furthermore lodged a complaint with the public protector because Helen Zille is corrupt, using state resources to defend herself and her racism. She's using the lawyers of the state to defend her racism against the case of Black First Land First. We have formally complained also to the public protector against Helen Zille's corruption and racism. So we have undertaken those processes. We ask our nation, and black people in particular, to distance themselves from the DA and also to be very careful about what the media is saying, because the media today is about fake news, is about the regime change. It does not want radical economic transformation.
And lastly, Mr. Andile, the DA thinks that Mr. Malikane's appointment is reckless, and they plan to question Minister Gigaba about it at the next sitting of Parliament. What are your thoughts on that as Black First Land First?
No, the DA is desperate, clutching at straws, trying to create a big thing out of nothing. But the worst, the DA is relying on lies. Why should the Minister of Finance respond or take seriously the DA, which is peddling openly lies and distortions and fake news in his desperate attempt to silence Professor Malikane? By the way, also the DA and its supporters and white monopoly capital have gone further to even harass the University of Witwatersrand, where Professor Malikane works, to try to silence him. We are very happy that this university Vice Chancellor Professor Habib has come out and said he defends the right of Professor Malikane's thought, freedom of academic expression, freedom of thought. I'm very happy, we are very happy that it's clear that Professor Malikane must be allowed to express his views. And similarly, we ask the minister to allow Professor Malikane to engage with the public and to disregard the DA completely. The DA is the enemy of freedom and the enemy of economic liberation.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for joining us here on Ground Report. That was Mr. Mngxitama, the national convener of Black First, Land First.